You're listening to the New Old Heads podcast, shot live every Tuesday at twitch.tv/newoldheads and released every Thursday at noon via bringingdowntheband.com. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Printfinity, Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads.
You are now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7th. Almost all of the crew is here, minus one. Shout out to my homie Red August. Jay Moore is in the building. How are you, sir?
Doing well, kicking but not high, flapping but can't fly. You know the vibes.
Okay. My man Lonegevity, how are you?
Doing all right. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Doing good, man. Thanks for that. Thanks
Cool.
for asking.
I try to ask when I remember.
Yeah. I had a coworker a while back. They used to say axe. So thanks for asking.
I do what I can.
Oh man, DJ Jay Diff. What's happening, man?
Salutation.
Everything good?
Yep.
Had your candy today?
Yep, I'm drinking water.
There you go. My man.
There we go. Got to balance it out.
Balance it out. My man.
Got
My
that
man.
Balance it out, man.
It's good to see you brothers as
At
always.
least I ain't smoking crack.
That's you right. I saw
I
somebody
can have a little piece of candy here and there.
I saw a video today that was disturbing that had somebody
Hey,
doing
man,
some stuff they weren't supposed to be doing.
in a different timeline, candy is crack.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
You know what? We did have
Sugar's a little addicting.
we low key did have a fat moment before we came on air talking about old fire snack candies and the snacks and all that. Like it really was a vibe in here for a minute. Y'all brought up some good stuff. Actually,
What Bob Saget say though?
You ever for Coke?
Yeah, you ain't never did nothing strange for a piece of candy.
Yeah.
I don't
Piece of
think
candy.
so. I think I'm all right.
well,
I seen him.
all right, man. Let's talk. Let's talk old versus new. We've had this old versus new conversation, but it took
Plenty of times.
But it got crazy out here this last week. It's still going on right now. Good old DJ Akademics was out here running his mouth on his stream as he always does, and he started to refer to hip hop pioneers as old and dusty and broke in the midst of a conversation that was probably stupid. And LL caught word, Mr. Cool J, James Todd, and actually had a very grown. Everybody saw the response, right? Y'all see LL. I thought it was.
I see Axe response too on the Breakfast Club.
That's what I wanted to get to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna come to you with that. But I saw LL's response, and I thought it was grown, it was mature, and he had facts all the way through it. And I didn't see anything or deem anything that he said disrespectful. But other legends start coming out. I saw MC Shan, I saw 𝐀𝐄𝐃𝐒, I saw who else am I missing that came out? It was three or four. Fat Joe came out and said something. Who am I missing, Jay Moore? Was there other OGs that came out?
I mean, Russell Simmons said something, but I was like, man, Russell, you might need to set out a few more plays before we...
Everybody, that's one thing I saw. There it is. Lone's net. One thing I saw.
It was gone until you came back.
Whatever. One thing I saw on Twitter was people saying Russell I need to chill, but I still think Russell made good points with what he said. But
I didn't even read what Russell said.
I didn't either.
well, I mean, it was pretty much the same thing, in terms of what LL said about don't disrespect the the OGs just because they don't have all the money and it's deeper than money and influence, and talked about all that type of stuff. But
I hope none of these artists have issue with how they were paid by Russell, because that could... See, this is why sometimes you gotta keep your mouth shut.
But here's my thing. I want to
Obviously, LL Cool J was cool. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. They took care of him. But Terry, what did you think about the Breakfast Club? Because I thought, in my personal opinion, that Envy and Charlamagne coddled him. I don't think they pressed him.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
You see what I'm saying?
It was actually the most likable Akademics interview I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
And I don't care for Akademics at all.
Right.
But him actually speaking on what he did made me be like, all right, he's an asshole, but he explained why he was loud about it. I'm always loud when I'm on Twitch because I'm talking to a bunch of people and this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. I kind of got what he was saying, but to put it in how I see things, I actually commented on his actual post when he reposted Russell's stuff and called him out for being a culture vulture and all that kind of stuff. And hella people liked it, and other people was like, well, what about Russell Simmons, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this isn't about Russell Simmons.
Thank you.
This is about who he said initially, and Russell Simmons isn't an artist. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know what Akademics said after. What did he say after the fact?
he pretty much was just saying that people were taking it out of context and they didn't listen to the whole thing that he said. But for you to call anybody that's a pioneer of a craft that you so-called are a part of dusty
and benefit from
definitely based off of monetary gain is just stupid, man, because money doesn't make you real or relevant at the end of the day. So that's the only part that I kind of did take offense to it, because I mean, you're talking about somebody that created a lane for you to even represent, and now they're dusty or whatnot. But I mean, the money wasn't the same.
That's what LL was
and I've
talking
also
about.
brought it up a few times too. Jay-Z has a line where he says, "I'm overcharging people for what they did to the Cold Crush." Like, he literally says that.
Yep.
It back then it was more for the love. It was more for an outlet outside of these four walls, these four project walls, or your block or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It evolved into what it is today. So for you to just call it dusty based off real life situations is stupid and ignorant, and it shows that you lack the information of the culture that you claim to be a part of.
Well, it also speaks to who he is as his character and how he's been able to thrive. Everything that he's done to thrive is based off negativity, is based off views, likes. Even when he quote unquote critiques music, it's about who sold the most. So everything is based off financial gain, and that's how he gauges everything.
I mean, where is he from anyway?
Jamaica.
Not Jamaica.
No, I mean,
well,
but he's from somewhere in New York.
New Jersey? Did they move to New Jersey?
I don't know if that really makes a difference, but
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, he got his start off with his first start of popularity off big up in
The War
Chicago
in Chirac.
stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which
The
in
War in
itself,
Chirac series.
No, he was doing.
He was doing stuff before that.
He was doing stuff before that. But that's what actually put him.
When these rappers,
what made him pop.
this is the thing, when he was when no one else would talk to certain rappers, he would talk to them. Like that's that, and then these rappers who just had a couple little SoundCloud songs, and then they become Lil Uzi Vert or PNB Rock, the rest in peace. Like when he didn't have anything else going on, like Akademics would talk to him. And so like that's where he really made his bones. Like I know a lot of, first of all, because I actually watched the stream, or at least a portion of the stream they were talking about the DJ Akademics, because I wanted to hear a longer portion of, because think about with our show, and we said a certain female rapper fan base didn't care what we said, and just listen to one clip and didn't hear because I'm not even going to mention the rapper's name.
We know.
Because we just know better at this point.
Yeah, we know.
And they missed all the parts where we said complimentary things about her, but the one point that was a little bit critical, and critical artistically, not personally, nothing about, we don't get into the blog type stuff and talk about people's clothes and plastic surgery and who they dating, because we don't care. Then all of a sudden, we're just men who hate female rappers, and we don't know how to critique music, and we're old and we don't know how to act. When I saw I think people were answering questions that he didn't even put out there. He called, and I saw his Breakfast Club, he was speaking about someone specific, and sometimes when people are slighted and then they retort, and the retort comes off as something that they're saying to everybody. He's like, I wasn't talking to LL. I wasn't talking about all these.
He wasn't talking to him.
He wasn't. I wasn't talking. I was talking to somebody specific, but everybody, like everybody decided to take up, and I'm not here to take up for Akademics, but I am here to take up for context.
I mean, but that's on brand for him, so I'm not surprised when I saw it. But
you know what? Even if you say it's on brand for him, like, okay, when you
it's still wrong though.
No, it's not wrong.
I think that comment is wrong.
I don't, because you know what?
I didn't hear him say somebody specific. I heard him made a generalization.
No, I heard him, because when I listened to the whole thing, because like I said, considering how we were done in a specific instance, I wanted to make sure that there was context attached to what he said, because I think everybody was somebody, like, it happens every week. It's like, okay, let's everybody turn around and point your gun at this person. And last week it was Akademics. And
it's always Akademics for the most part.
He bring it on himself though.
He does.
Yeah, but that's I mean, because the week before it was Adam 12 or 22, whatever the kid's name is.
Yeah, but it was,
and then the week before it was somebody else.
So what did he say?
I wish I could play the audio. If I could find it on my phone, I put it on the mic. It was in mid conversation. He was talking about the way I heard it to what Terry was talking about, I didn't hear a singular person mentioned. I heard dusty rappers, like dusty old rappers that haven't done anything for the game. They haven't moved the culture forward. They don't.
He didn't say that.
Isn't that what he said on his interview with the Breakfast Club?
No, he didn't say anything like that.
But the audio, he said,
old rappers, man. Have you seen any of these old rappers who be like, yo, they're the foundation of hip hop? They are the foundation of hip hop. Really living good? ? Hold up.
Well, he did say Dusty. He called him Dusty.
This is just one segment of it, though.
Yeah.
And that was plural.
That's definitely plural.
But like I said, I'm not here to shoot him any bail. But at the same time, when I hear when I hear the show in full, like I listen, and then I hear what he said on the Breakfast Club, like a whole bunch. And he said,
I actually liked his interview on the Breakfast Club,
because he also said something.
It was a walkback campaign.
No, but he also said something,
which is okay in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he also said something that was, don't just say, oh, he shouldn't say that about the forefathers of the culture, and you're not doing anything to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's fair.
See, that's the thing. Like, we'll say,
I think there are people out there that take care of them.
I think there are a lot of people.
That's what LL said when he said, "This is why I did rock the bells."
But see, he said that. A lot of times we set up and we want to be like, boo this person, but then when it's like time to talk about actual solutions, it's like, boo this person. It's just easier to boo this person instead of talking about. It's just like anything political. Like, put those people on a plane and send them to Martha's Vineyard. Did that solve the problem? No, the problem is something that benefits me politically.
I mean, the question really, if you want to boil it down to that, the question can be simply, okay, now that the conversation is out in the air and the OGs are talking and everybody's quote unquote piling on this guy, okay, so what comes from that now? What's the next step? So I get that part.
Mm-hmm. I think he'll have another blip in a couple weeks.
100%.
Because he'll talk about some other rapper, and like I said, we will all have moved on. And those rappers that you claim have done so much for the culture, what have you done for them?
And he's actually loving this attention. Be clear. This is
I mean,
this is the clout that he loves.
Yeah, but look, he don't need to talk about old rap because he's got the new rapper lane. He's got that on lock. You don't have to talk to LL or T.I. or Russell Simmons or anybody. Like, we got to understand, like, we're not his audience.
Lone, what's your train of thought? I don't want you to lose.
No, I'm staring at it right here. That's why I was having a hard time clicking the button here. So I found the quote. It says, "Them old rappers, man. Have you seen any of these old rappers who be like, yo, they're the foundation of hip hop? Really living good? Them ends be looking really dusty. I kid you not. And none of y'all try to come for me because I don't give a F. Or I don't F with any of y'all ends either. So just telling y'all the truth, every time there be like an old end talking about hip hop, you be like, yo, bro, you sure you invented this? Because everybody else is looking better than you."
There's nothing.
That is very highly suggestive.
That is hot. Yeah. Exactly.
But you know what? What did he say that was so wrong? Because these are the forefathers.
The implication.
These are the forefathers of our culture, and you know what? They were not taken care of. They were ripped off in the beginning.
True.
But
that's not what he's saying.
That's not what he's saying. That's not his side, though. He's saying, oh, y'all should have done better. Is essentially what he's saying.
He's like, y'all dusty. Y'all ain't got no money.
Yep.
Why are we listening to y'all? It's pretty much
no.
what
I mean,
saying.
and my thing is like, the thing that I liked about what LL said is like, what you look like, what your car you drive or whatever, that is not a reflection of your contribution.
For sure.
Agreed.
Culture. Like, and that's not a reflection. Even if you're a new rapper, you know what I'm saying? Just because you have the nicest chain or the nicest car, or you have whatever it is that is considered a certain level of material wealth, that doesn't mean that you are the end all be all of the culture. I guess my thing is like we've given him way too much credit for saying something that honestly, like, we could as a culture, and like I said, LL can speak on this definitely because he has rocked the bells where he's said, okay, I'm going to give Melly Mel a part of this. Yep. I'm going to do this. We're going to, because remember, Rock the Bells was another concert that had nothing to do with LL Cool J. He came back and got it, and so he can say, once again, you can't tell me nothing about LL Cool J, even with accidental racist and all that other foolishness he did.
That's unforgivable though, but that's my at one point in time he was my favorite rapper.
But that was only that was the main thing that stood out to me about LL's comment was the fact where he said, But he rejected the idea of that possessing wealth equates to value in hip hop culture, which I think is something that gets missed on a lot of times. There's a lot of people that contribute a lot to the culture that don't have a lot of money, that just literally do it because they want to do it.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can look at this show however you want to look at the show, but, you know, this doesn't like, we're not sitting greater with our pockets because of the show. We're doing it because we want to do the show. You know what I mean? So like, and if you don't think we contribute to it or have any value, that's on you. But you know,
no, at least we're willing to have the discussion.
Love is the element in hip hop that they don't talk about.
It's never
like literally
about.
You have to have love for it in order to have an appreciation for it, because it's not always a monetary gain.
If anything, you know, where like especially when we see people perform now, you can tell there's no love, because if you loved this at all, you would be better at what you do. Yeah, you know, and that's another conversation. We can have that another time.
You know, you know that one will go.
Yeah.
We can talk about that all night.
That was something else.
I can't talk about that.
Yeah, you can.
No, I just ignore it because I don't care.
All right, man. Well, either way, I'm glad LL spoke up, and he obviously had the cachet to say everything that he said, and he's put on. So salute to him and the rest of the OGs.
These new cats is corny. And I hate to sound like that dude that just calls people corny.
He
all
did the
time.
same thing that Akademics just did. Man, y'all new people are corny.
I said and I absolutely mean it, but I'm gonna put it in context.
There we go.
Every single one of you.
These new cats like Akademics.
There we go.
That don't know what's really going on and just run their mouth. I mean, I absolutely mean that.
Yeah.
And I love new artists, and I love a lot of the new people coming up, but it's a certain type that I just don't mess with.
Hey, make sure
I'm not gonna group all of them together in one, you know what I'm saying, one cup and pour it out. But hey, it is what it is, man.
Make sure y'all watch if you get a chance. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the Amazon Prime Lil Baby documentary.
It's on my list.
Very good.
That movie was on my list. I think I told you to watch it.
You might have put me on. I think you did.
I have to check it out.
All right, man. Let's go into this next topic. I saw a very extreme, well, actually a great interview with Rapper Big Pooh from Lil Brother. One of the questions that came, he just dropped the album. Let me make sure I get him in his credit for the name of the project, because it's actually dope.
Haven't even listened.
Have y'all got a chance? You haven't listened to it yet?
I've gone through it. I haven't listened to it.
Good production, not too many. It's right to the point. It's called To Dream in Color. Got about 10 songs on there, right to the point. He said 𝗲𝗲 helped him sequence it, so he sent him all the records, and
I'm interested to hear it.
He had one lineup, and he said 𝗲𝗲 completely took all of that away and put his lineup on it. And he said his reasoning was not about the subject matter; it was about how the music flowed, and that's what he paid attention to the most. That the project is dope though. Like I think this is one of his best projects. In my personal opinion.
Might have a rap album of the year.
I think you might be right so far. But one of the questions that came up to him was, how would Little Brother fare if they came out in today's climate versus back then? And you could see it on his face. He started talking about how when they came out, it allowed them to cut through in a way that made people curious about them, like they were discovered on the internet. So the OK player, loan the walls and all the old school chat rooms. He said it didn't necessarily turn them into superstars, but it allowed them to be something that everyone was curious about. Everybody was wondering, who is this group from North Carolina? Which I was one of those people. I said the same thing. And he said that right there alone got them into a lot of meetings because everybody was talking about them. Yeah. He said now, though, he thinks it will be harder because they wouldn't be as special, and the lane is closed down. So you said you agree with that 100%?
Yes, absolutely.
I do too.
Here's my question. The reason I'm asking is because we always say the internet is the gift and the curse. It gives a lot of people that are, amateurs more room to come out and experiment and
hey, speak for yourself. This is stuff that you say, not that I say.
Yeah. I say it.
This is something we always say.
Well, it's a lot more trash out there.
Mike talking in third person.
Yeah, definitely. But he said it would be different. Do you think even with the internet though?
Absolutely, man.
It still would be. You still say it would be harder.
Regardless. Yeah, it would be way harder.
Okay,
because you got to understand when they came in. Unfortunately, they should have probably came 5 years prior.
He said that,
but that sound was still something people were wanting because it was starting to switch.
I think that's why they worked at the time they worked, is because they weren't 5 years earlier. They weren't 5 years later. They were right then.
Yeah.
He talked about them coming in on the tail end of 𝗀𝗲, Sound Bomb, and all that. They were a little bit after that.
Yeah.
And it filled somewhat of a kind of a void.
It was the pioneering time of bootlegging music on the internet.
Right.
People were like,
He would just say inbox.
people were
Yeah.
just looking for stuff like that because
Right.
it was new. You
And
know
that's
what I
what that some of the quotes I pulled was him basically saying that helped us be discovered because everybody was wondering who we
now
are.
will be lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Or they would be the equivalent to the hoodies.
Okay. I guess I'm looking at it from a standpoint of
And y'all know who the hoodies are, right?
That's like Kendrick's
Exactly.
thing.
yeah.
No. It's the two brothers that rap. One of them was real young, and the other one's a little older, and they rap very well.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah, those guys.
The kids in the car.
Yeah, well, one of them wasn't a
What?
kid.
Well, hold on. I'm thinking about the there's like an older guy in the car and a younger kid. And
You
they
talking
like,
about
No,
something
no,
else.
no,
You
that's
talking about
something
something
else.
else. You talking about something else.
But see, exactly. You can't remember who they are. But if I show you who they, you'd be like, oh, I know who you're talking about. They were actually who sponsored us at one point in time.
Mhm.
You don't have to say their name,
Mm-hmm.
but
Well, yeah,
they
we know.
featured them a lot when they were supposed to be featuring us.
oh.
Now I know.
You know what I'm talking
there
about?
you go.
Yeah, it's kind of like that group, where they're really good, but unfortunately the timing and where they fall,
Timing's so important.
people aren't really invested in it like that. Like Lil Brother was late, but they were right on time. If that makes any sense.
Well, what
I'm not mad at
what
that.
would have really hurt Little Brother is the fact that this is still a time when brick and mortar was still popping. I mean, online still had a presence, but it was still something very special for you to put out an album.
Yeah.
Now that's not special at all. You know, you get 20, 30 new albums a week, and I feel like Little Brother, for what for as special as they were, for whatever their internet buzz would have been at the time, they might have got lost in the shuffle because they'd have been at one of 30 albums, and depending on their budget, if they didn't, Atlantic didn't do right by them, when they were there.
ABB either.
So
A lot of things had to go right for Little Brother's career to go into the direction that it did.
now the thing that would also that might have helped them out a little bit is people who wanted to see Little Brother's video. They wouldn't have had to wait for BET to play it the one time they played it. They'd have been able to watch it whenever. If it had been out now,
didn't
just
really
like
matter,
when
though.
I wanted this, I heard that Premiere had a video with Rhapsody and Remy Ma. Oh, I can go right and watch that video right now.
I haven't watched any videos like that in so many years.
The only reason I know a lot of these videos now is because I do put together the playlist
Yeah.
Yeah.
for the videos to be played in certain places.
But still, like even that, like even without the BET look, it didn't matter. They still, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure it would have helped, and they wanted it at the time. But
I don't think it
They're
is.
here-
No, because
I mean,
technically
no,
Drake had a track out before he was Drake, and the video premiered on 106 in Park. It didn't do what it was supposed to do for him at that time. They kind of played the video one time. He went away, had to go back and regroup.
Look, Drake's it's wild because this is something that also kind of throws me off is the curation of hip hop videos.
Yeah,
To where, for Best I Ever Had, Drake's that's kind of what you could call his breakthrough single.
yeah. And Kanye West directed the video.
And you know what? That's not on his Vivo.
yeah, it's
You
probably,
can't. It's weird. But going back to Little
Anyways.
Brother, but at the same time, I don't. Maybe they, maybe they have a third and fourth video in this day and age as opposed to just the one, because now you can, as long
still
as
don't matter.
you got an iPhone, but if you have a following, like this, these are the things that are, the whole game is different because they were still trying to sell CDs and put out 12-inch singles and go to radio and talk to DJs. All that's done with now.
I think
like
Lil
they
Brother-
would be able to do direct to consumer a lot easier because and
They could do that a lot
of
easier.
times, like, and honestly, I was one of those people who was like, okay, I had a whole bunch of Little Brother stuff, on my computer because there was nowhere for me to buy it.
They also had
Like, I had the whole-
cosign from OK Player.
I
True.
had, but I had basically
Questlove.
the listening, on a bunch of MP3s on zip disks. talking about how old I am. But you know, now like they've made it easier for me to buy things or to stream things than to steal them like I was doing back in the day.
I just think it looks different. It's now in this era, it would be more content with Ninth Wonder making beats in the studio and Fonte and Pooh and seeing them more in this era.
But if they wanted to do that,
if they wanted to do that, it would be more of that would be pushed to the forefront.
Still,
so I still think they would have a groundswell.
I'm telling you,
it wouldn't work. Because I mean, Ninth, even though he wasn't technically in Little Brother anymore, when he did the beat for the Black album,
yeah,
there's not another Black album coming out right now. There's no Jay-Z Black album coming out right now.
Was he not in the group at that time?
No, he was still.
I think he might have still been in the group
because the Minstrel Show hadn't come out yet.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it hadn't come out yet.
All right, it hadn't came out yet. But all right, well, he did that track. They had already recorded it.
Yeah.
It may not have been out for us to hear.
Right.
But that was prior to the fact. Yeah, that wouldn't have happened.
You don't think the Jay
that would not have happened.
That's fair.
And that was, I think when we talk about Little Brother, and obviously Pooh knows better than anybody on this, right? But the things that make Little Brother so great even today is their story. It's like how they got to this point. You know, it's like we all know how Little Brother got to this point.
I agree.
You know, it's like we know Ninth's story of making beats in the dorm room or whatever, and then, you know, getting the call from Young Guru or whoever called him, and he goes and plays beats for Jay, which turns into Destiny's Child, which turns into
Erykah Badu,
you know, all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then we, you know, then there's the foreign exchange stuff with Fonte, you know, like linking with Nicolay and their career.
Yeah, they
you know
didn't
what I
even
mean?
meet
Like,
until the album was out.
yeah, so it's like
I think
their entire storied career, like where they are right now, is because of them just being kind of in the perfect timing. And even though it didn't work out great, like, don't get me wrong, everybody at this table would probably love if Little Brother was super, you know, popular, mainstream, and was, you know, whatever. But
it didn't matter.
It wasn't
though.
the case. It didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
And
it happened when it was supposed to happen.
it did.
Yeah.
It really did. Because now, look, and maybe I have a different perspective of this just because of how many like super dope artists that I've seen come through the years that people just don't pay attention to because there's just not enough push or there's not enough attention span for everything. Little Brother would struggle like anybody else right now.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're super. Just think about that though.
Look,
you know what I mean? Think about how talented they are.
Look, if you're not Drake, you're struggling. I'll put that on anybody out there. If you're not Drake, I don't care how many songs like you hear in the club. When you look at the numbers,
oh no, Moneybagg Yo seems to be doing pretty well.
but you know
Lil
what?
Baby, Lil Baby,
they're
all right,
doing they're doing good. But
NBA YoungBoy,
but when you see what Drake is doing, it pales in comparison. Like people are eating.
There's levels.
They
of
know
success.
who they are. But there's as far as
they getting that tour money, I think people are doing pretty damn good.
Too.
If they're in a position to even be able to perform on the same stage as Drake, or in the same
Drake is
area
like the
and be in the same
anomaly.
pockets,
He's the anomaly.
I think he's good money. They're good money.
But Drake, we've had this conversation we talk about all the time.
They're Young Money.
I see what you did there. But Drake is a hybrid. He's a pop star to me. Like there's a whole
he's a pop
bag
star to
that
everybody.
There's a bag that he's getting to that Moneybagg ain't getting to. There's a bag that he can get to that, you know,
there's
young
money
boy
that Bron is getting to that
Kawhi ain't getting to.
Exactly, but he's still a millionaire.
He's still successful. I agree with that.
But you know, I just look at it like, and also I see how quickly.
And we're talking about Little Brother.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean,
I see what
but
y'all
I'm talking
saying.
about if they, in the context of if they were around today.
Yeah, I see what y'all saying.
But I'm also seeing how we still talk about Little Brother right now, and their artists. Look how like was it DaBaby tried to sell, put a concert on, he couldn't sell 500 tickets. I've never seen somebody fall off this quickly.
They said that it was some other variations that
some other variation.
It wasn't necessarily all on him as far as not selling 500 tickets. So there was something else going on with that.
I must have missed it.
But he did just drop an album this past week that people were talking about like it wasn't that good. And
well, yeah, because
he's still making
the only reason they talk about it is because he got like he had to bring up Megan, you know, and then her last album came and went.
What great timing for him to say that right before his album came out during the release week.
I mean, but
he said it on the album that dropped.
Oh, is that what did it? Okay, it was the bar. It was the bar. You're right. It was the bar.
You know, but and this is the thing. Like, I don't know if Little Brother could put up with the antics. Like so much of this is
sure.
antics.
Good point.
Like you
Good
know
point.
when you talk about I gotta say something real wild about Megan. My album came out. It might not have worked, and it probably didn't. And then like the game, I'm gonna do a 10-minute song about Eminem, and then like 3 weeks later, we don't care nothing about the
At
album.
all.
And it's like
Yeah, he kind of ruined his album.
the antics. I don't think is something that the three brothers and Little Brother would be willing to do.
No, they ain't going.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's a
They've
lot
always
of what
been
this is.
older souls, grown up. They always seemed like the older brother, kind of. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything that Jay Moore said is correct because that's all off brand for them. Nothing about them says
You know,
any of
you're not going to see them on
But
the
they did-
Shade
hey,
Room or
they
Madame
did have-
Noir.
Hey, they had their MySpace days where they were dropping mixtapes and doing comical stuff, though, you know, and on all that stuff. So who knows? I mean, you know,
They
and
didn't
Fonte
participate in
is
a lot of the
hilarious.
stuff that
He
was
is.
going on then either, though.
Yeah, I mean, they were in their own lane,
Yeah.
but I mean, Infante is super funny. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he pops off on TikTok. You know?
I mean, it might be content that's like Percy Miracles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
Like,
it's
that'd
a
be pop-
Loiter
that would've
Squad situation. With
Yeah, you know, you
Tyler,
never
the creator.
maybe Percy Miracles has
Perky
a
Mil-
YouTube channel.
blows up.
Right.
in-
That's
in,
what I'm saying. Stuff
you know,
like
this era.
that.
You never know.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
But no-
I like them where they came out.
That's what Pooh was saying. He was like, I wouldn't change anything. He's like,
Yeah, I
nah,
wouldn't either.
we were in the right place, the right time, and we capitalized. So, you know, salute to them, man. Legendary group. Legendary group. All right, Lone, can we shout out our people real quick?
Thanks to our partners. Dr. Coleman of Coleman Dental is our go-to dentist. He's a longtime Indianapolis arts and music supporter located right in Broad Ripple. Printfinity is a screen printing shop based in Indianapolis, owned and operated by our own DJ Jay Diff. Our good friends at Indie CD and Vinyl operate one of the best record stores in North America. Shop new and used in their site or visit them in person. And the best way to support the New Old Heads is to visit our Patreon and become a member for as little as $3 a month. All details on newoldheads.com.
Let's talk about rapper DDG and his
I don't
racist
even know who that
comments.
is.
Well, he's I guess he's 24.
He's a lucky young
fella.
man to be dating that young lady.
Yeah, I think her name Halle Bailey. She's gonna be doing the Little Mermaid, and we saw the controversy.
Yeah, they
in that.
mad.
They big mad about that.
Mad.
And
Dude, diggly
he was
doo.
being interviewed. This is on Yahoo News. Sorry, they were asking how she's been dealing. You know, they were asking him how she's been dealing with all the controversy. And
See how Mike's reading does today.
so here's the quote. He says, and this is bad because there's a lot of cussing here too. He says she be laughing it off, but they be going a little too hard. Is what he said.
Why you reading it like he said it like that?
That's what he said.
Nah, you want to read it like he's saying it
But
like that.
I feel like the people is more attacking the. I hate him.
Read it how it's written, because it's not even written bad.
Yeah.
He trying to
No,
make
I'm
it
not.
No,
sound
you're
like
trying to put an inflection on it.
Yeah.
But I feel like people is more attacking the character rather than her personally. Is what he said.
Mhm.
So let's go down to the quote. Here's a
So
quote.
his girlfriend is Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
I would
Yeah, the
skip
young
it,
lady.
yeah.
Yeah, Halle Bailey. They both young. He's 24. I think she's 22.
20-something.
He said, "Yeah, I didn't know people was this racist. I didn't know this was a thing."
Is he white?
He's African
Oh,
American.
we're going to get to why
Okay.
he's an idiot.
Okay.
And here's the quote. I'm gonna try to get through this. He says, "I thought
Is he of
this."
Caucasian stature? Oh, okay.
No. He says, "I thought this ish was gone already. I thought Martin Luther King Jr. canceled this ish out. This ish is crazy. I was like, what the F is these ends talking about?" And this is in relation to the backlash that she's getting. So he basically thought Martin Luther King canceled racism, and he's very surprised that it.
He sounds
This
like
is
a Trump supporter.
This is such a confusing statement from him.
Yeah. But
He
Jay
sounds
Moore.
like a Trump supporter. 'Cause
Jay Moore,
remember
what
when
you
they
think,
thought
man?
that racism didn't exist until Obama made it to office?
I mean, it's gone.
Yeah.
oh, it's gone. Yeah.
We had a
That's
black
what-
president.
Yeah.
That took care of everything, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's what he said. He thought MLK took care of it. Jay Moore, man, some wisdom here, or what what we got going on?
This is what happens when all you do is write raps and smoke weed. And you know, how do you know if racism was over, young man? Explain George Floyd. Explain Breonna Taylor. Explain. I don't even have to. I don't
have to keep going.
I don't have to keep going.
Nope.
And it's not like that's ancient history. You were alive for all of these things.
True.
And it's almost like there is a willful, almost loud and proud ignorance that, you know, some of young rappers have when it comes. I almost think, look, just talk about your favorite shoes, where you like to eat, and your jewelry and your rap career. Don't ever try to venture outside of those things because you're clearly not prepared. Because if you knew anything about Martin Luther King, look up how he died, young man. I'm sorry, not look up how he died. Look how he was killed.
Part of me
has not. So I just think that this is what happens when young rappers they live in their own world that has nothing to do with the real world.
Is this no, go ahead, Lon. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe he only commented on it because it is his girlfriend.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? But when for him to say it would,
it was gone in 1970.
I would be able to make more sense of it if he said, "Man, we had a black president. Why is racism this, that, and that?" But for you to reach all the way back to Martin Luther King and be like, "Man, racism stopped in what 68, 69? Yeah, that was bad. We've been smooth sailing
70
since then.
at the latest."
Yeah. So I once again, this is just a. And if he was trying to be funny, say I'll shoot him some bail. He's saying he's trying to be funny. Yeah. It wasn't funny
at all.
And if he's serious, then honestly, look, Halle Bailey, get away from this young man. You're about to be a superstar.
She about to blow. Facts.
You are on your way. Please, I want you and your sister to stop dealing with these bum ass rappers. You don't need street cred.
Not at all.
You are on the Beyonce trajectory. You do not have to prove anything to us by hanging out with these weirdos.
I don't know if they daddy is still in their lives, but I know he's pissed if he is.
Man,
it's like,
what is wrong with my daughters?
He's like, I had the good sense to put you in a position to introduce you to people of substance and character.
Everything is set for you to blow, young lady.
And
everything is set.
Here you are with somebody that would say something like this out loud without a sense of irony.
You know what? I almost
bring that sorry something up to my house.
I almost played he's 24. He's young.
Nah, man.
He's misinformed.
Tupac got killed when he was 25, man.
Oh,
not everybody's Tupac though. We know.
Yeah,
that.
but
we
you know what?
But
you know what's but think about it. In your lifetime, you've seen a black president. You've seen how he was treated. You've seen all this police brutality that has nothing to do with anything other than racism and the bias in this country that is based all the way in systematic racism. Now, I'm not saying that you sat and looked at the news every day, but even by osmosis, you should know better than
Talk
this.
to me, Lon.
I don't know if you guys have seen these TikTok videos of people interviewing Gen Zers. People 19 to 25-year-old, and them asking questions. Who was the first president? How many name a country just name a country, and people can't even name them. They're like Europe, Asia.
That's stupid for real.
Hey,
man,
I don't know if it's part of the. I mean, he's a little older than that, so I'm guessing his education wasn't messed up by all the COVID stuff. But it's not too far removed that some people just don't have that.
No, I mean, like some people
are.
I mean, I'll call them stupid. They just are stupid. And the thing is, their stupidity has not prevented them from making it places in life.
Stupid shame. What do you mean they're stupid?
Yeah, I said what I said. There's just a lot of stupid people out here.
Can't shame nobody.
It's different. More. It's some people because I'd rather be ignorant of something than to be called stupid.
No,
because
for sure.
ignorant is just I just don't know.
I just don't know anybody.
But there are people that stupid has to do with your ability to reason and understand just basic concepts. And I don't think this young man understands the basic concepts of social structure that has been created by the United States.
More of my response. Go ahead, Lo.
No, I was gonna say maybe there are people that are just completely oblivious to this stuff too. Though now I don't know what it's like to grow up. I don't know what it's like to grow up black, right, and be in America. So I don't know what that's like as far as those pressures. But I know what it's like to grow up white and to be able to ignore that stuff, but I just always assumed that was because I had a certain level of privilege to ignore that stuff. So I don't know, man.
You would have to look. I grew up, like I said, a black child of privilege. Okay, I can say that.
Ain't nothing wrong with
good
that.
toys on criminal.
Yeah, sure did. Got I got Optimus Prime,
cereal,
Optimus Prime, and Soundwave in '84. We was doing it.
Right, a Vortex.
But I'm just saying, like I was not immune to these things, and not I couldn't close my just because
That's
I
because
had a
your
house.
daddy and your mama wouldn't letting you.
Well, that's true because you know what? Maybe it's different because
You
I
didn't
had
have even sugar in your
I
cereal.
had two parents who were. I was only, but you know, at 45, you got to understand, I am only one generation removed from state-sponsored apartheid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it's why, you know, when I think about it, sometimes I think about, like, you know, when I would go to the amusement park as a kid, Six Flags, that's the one we had in St. Louis, and it was just not a big deal. Just, yeah, come on, we got a day off, let's go to Six Flags. But then, like, when I hear my mom talk about, you know, when she was my age and they wanted to go, there was only one day they could go.
Yeah.
And this is Kansas City. They didn't grow up in the Deep South.
Yeah.
It was the same way here.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's only one day you could go to the amusement park, and a lot of times the people who worked there would call out, and the stuff would be broken. And my grandmother, God bless her soul, said, "Look, they don't want you there anyway, so you're not going."
Yeah.
That's tough.
Where Riverside is,
Mhm.
there used to be an amusement park over there
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
know that.
in that neighborhood. There's actually, if you walk on the trails and stuff, there's some placards that are still there that were in the
In the
actual amusement park.
I didn't know that.
But
didn't know that either.
you could go. Black folks could only go like 1 or 2 days a week.
That's crazy.
No,
At
they
the
was talking
Riverside.
about 1 or 2 days a summer, and that was it.
Hmm.
Either way, that's still.
Yeah.
But see,
speaks
once
to the
again,
point.
it just shows like. But I don't know. Maybe it's if you young and your mama grew up in the 90s and she thought everything was all good. I don't know. I don't know what these kids' experience is and what their parents have told them. You know,
He's
but
25 or 24, right? You said?
Yeah, I think he's
he was
24.
dummy.
so
I seen a grown woman today make a post on Facebook that stated she didn't know that Mike Tyson was accused of rape and that it happened in the state of Indiana during Indiana Black Expo.
Hmm.
Somebody that is
Wow.
from here,
I didn't know that.
you didn't know that
You didn't know that?
No,
Mike Tyson was accused of rape.
I knew that. I didn't know it was
You
here.
didn't know it was here?
Are you
Nah.
okay? I can understand you not knowing it was here,
But
Yeah.
you knew about.
but you knew that he was accused of rape and that he was locked up in Indiana, right?
Yes. Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
he was,
All
wasn't
right.
he?
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
Nas
duh.
has a whole line about it.
Oh,
Hit
yeah.
the
Oh,
Indiana
yeah.
stabbing women like the Phantom.
Sorry, I knew he was locked up here. It's been a while. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, she made a whole post on Facebook about not knowing that happened and how she knows nothing about Mike Tyson, but he absolutely did it. Said that she doesn't know anything about Mike Tyson, but he did it.
Those are
How
the-
can you
those
how
are the
can you make
comments.
this post?
Those are the posts.
I feel like some people just like find thoughts in their head that maybe they didn't have before, and they're like, "Wow, this is the first time this is the thing, so it has to be true." Maybe it's the
Yeah.
first time they've had a real thought, and they just want to own up to it. Like, man, I have a thought.
Let me go ahead and
This
put
is
it out
real.
to the
that
world.
hey, this will get them. This is provocative. I don't.
Yeah.
I want to
don't know
stop
because I don't really.
Stupidity is just stupid.
I don't really
dog.
post anything on
Stupidity
Facebook
is just
anymore.
stupid.
So maybe I've missed whatever it is. I see a lot of shock posting, and it's just like,
Yeah.
all right,
I would say this about
I've
this.
learned to
this,
scroll.
this kid though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Hopefully, from this situation and the backlash that I'm guessing he probably saw from it, hopefully, it encourages him to pay a little bit more attention to the things that are
He
going on.
probably
around
doesn't
him.
care because he has a bag. That's all people care about nowadays. Is having
Well,
a bag.
this
I
is
hate to say it, but Terry is right.
But this is the thing. I mean, because maybe this is the first time he's seen blatant racism affect someone he knows. And so this is his reaction to this. I mean, all that stuff, Breonna Taylor, that's on TV. That might as well be a television show. That doesn't affect him because that's almost how a lot of people's brains are wired. You know, it was, but you know what? Sometimes it can come back to bite you because I remember, you know, when they asked Young Thug about, you know, police brutality, he said, you know, we iced out and we having money. I don't have time to be thinking about that. He got a lot of time to think about it now.
I mean, Lil Wayne said something similar.
You know,
Racism?
ASAP
What's that?
Yeah,
He was
ASAP
like-
Rocky, a white man helped me one time. Can't be no racism.
Yeah.
You know, ASAP Rocky said something, you know,
What was Wayne saying?
and
Like,
wound
oh,
up in jail. And we was like, and I remember people was like, oh, now you understand what jail is. You're not even jailing in America.
Well,
Yeah, I still, and again, for the context of this, was he saying this in the sense of like he's surprised, or was he saying this in the sense of like,
I think he was
No,
saying he's
no.
surprised.
I took it
Probably
as him being
being
surprised. Yeah.
I want to see the actual audio. All I've
Yeah.
seen was the statement. So
but even with like the statement as it is, I mean, it's still the same thing. Like
yeah, essentially,
you had to, how can you not know?
yeah.
Oh, that's
Chalk it
terrible.
up to being dumb.
Yeah,
that's
and
basic.
you know, Bailey sisters, please get away from these wild
Come on,
grapes.
please.
It's not, yeah.
Cause y'all on
Some, you know, because some people
Y'all
can't do
on
no
track.
better. Y'all can do better than this.
y'all on track, so just be careful out here. They on
That's
track.
the old man. I was like, when I see young women, I was like, you know, you can do better than that, young lady.
Come on now.
They on track. Be careful. That's all I'm saying. Be careful out here.
I'm getting that Disney money now.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take this weirdo to the premiere
Come
with you.
on, man.
And that movie gonna do well. So
Do Dirt Gang.
all
What's
right, man.
DDG stand for?
I don't
Do
know.
Dirt Gang. He gonna be indicted soon.
Don't
No,
do that.
I just made that up. I don't
Dumb
know.
dumb guy.
It's like a Kawhi name.
Dumb dumb guy.
You gonna go with
DDG,
dumb
right?
guy?
I'm
and that's
ride
probably
with dumb,
better than
dumb
what
guy.
it actually stands
Yeah.
for. So
It's probably something slick. Anyway,
Hey, did y'all see Corday with his Union mustache? He looked like he was fighting in the Civil War.
No.
Look
he got
him
a glory
up, man.
mustache.
oh
Man,
yeah,
look.
Corday
up
looked
his-
like he looked like the creative character on Red Dead
Man,
Redemption 2.
He looks an absolute mess.
Is it that
He
bad?
got
It's
a,
terrible.
He got a Dudley Do-Right mustache. He looked like he tied women up the train tracks.
Dudley
Man,
do right.
I'm telling you, he looks like a villain in
don't
a
tell
stop motion
Don't tell-
movie.
Don't tell me Corday got a glory mustache. I need to see
No,
this.
That's just you gotta see the whole thing. Where's the newest one at?
These chops are hilarious.
Yeah,
no, but they got one where he's like in black. Yeah,
The Wolverine game is high.
it's
no,
another one. It's another one.
I don't
man.
know,
I don't
but-
see it, but he out here tripping.
hope that young man is doing well.
Great rapper. Makes good music.
Something going on.
Terry is not comfortable with
He's
this.
like something going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to find the.
Yeah, he definitely fought in the Civil War. Walking around with a musket
Musket.
and gunpowder in his pocket.
These chops are pretty serious, though.
Yeah, they are.
No, but
You
he's
gotta
got
see
one.
the company with the mustache.
Yeah, with the one he has the full-on mustache.
I'm guessing it might be on his.
I don't know.
I don't know. He's
It was a picture of him and Naomi somewhere.
oh yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Like throw down that box.
He sells TNT on the
Yeah,
side
like
of the road.
Look like Colt Kirby.
Yeah,
Man, this picture even goes.
it can't
with
be real, man.
No, that's
He
real.
was man.
It was at
I
Beyonce's
hate it.
birthday party.
That's
Yeah.
exactly where it was at.
it looking
Yeah.
like he in Tombstone.
Yeah, he's out here tripping.
Anyways,
Wyatt Earp. All right, man. Let's
Red Dead Corday.
All right, man. So we got
He stole a horse in that first
He
mission.
sure did.
throw down that box. You still
He got him a pelt.
Get some beaver pelts. Is that what? That was how you measured if you had some money back. Oh yeah, he got mad pelts.
Man, you see them pants he got on?
no.
And his poncho?
Y'all gotta be stopped, man. Beaver.
He had on a mountain lion poncho.
Oh, my
He was
God,
up there putting in that work.
That boy came back with a with a mountain lion poncho.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
that's tough. He had to
And a
clean
bunch
that
of beaver
mud.
pelts.
Oh man.
Yeah, he was out here
He had to
getting
go to the
it.
general store, get all this in.
Mhm.
Long, you know how to skin a mountain lion?
yeah, I've done it.
Of course he does. Yep.
He don't know how
That's-
to hog tie, though.
those are things that
He don't know how to hog
He
tie.
don't
those
know how to
are
hog
skills
tie.
that you come up with living in Central India.
Yeah.
I was gonna answer like, oh, you can smell it.
Stop, man.
It was a vocational class.
Yeah,
He got pelts hanging in the back drying right now.
yeah. I like roadkill.
Do you throw it away the next day or do you keep it?
Maybe wait till the police
I like
show up
to
and ask him about the
experiment.
smell.
I like to
He keeps the
experiment with it.
cadavers.
Oh, wow. Knock on wood. We ain't
No
smell
gay.
nothing around here yet.
No gay.
Let's do knowledge, man. Knowledge is up this week. Producer.
I don't know if we should even. I'll be honest. I don't even know if we should do knowledge.
You don't think we should do him?
Can you guys
Pause.
name?
He's
Can-
not really a whole
can you guys
lot
name-
of hip hop stuff.
Can you guys name any hip hop records that
No,
knowledge has done?
no, I
I
don't.
can't.
I'm not familiar.
I know he's talented.
He
but
does
I
a lot
can't-
of remix albums. Does a lot of R&B vibes, but rap wise,
Super
Kendrick
talented.
Lamar.
Yeah, he's dope.
Kendrick, Anderson .Paak, but it's
Yeah.
not really hip hop. I mean, it is.
He dope.
Whatever Anderson .Paak is.
He dope, but I agree with you. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at
I think
that.
we should probably skip him.
Now the next person is very qualified.
You not qualified.
40. Drake's
You
on me.
bad.
Now I know he's gonna have
Noah, 40.
this off the singles alone.
God's plan. God's plan. God has a plan. A plan for God. Yeah.
Because that's exactly how it goes.
Thought so too.
Yep, man.
God's plan.
It'd be weird if we got a copyright strike based
I know, right?
on all
I know.
that singing.
Because
So-
of how good it is.
The singles. I mean, going back to 09,
Pork chops and apple pie.
Successful with Drake and Trey Songz.
That's a good song.
I'm Single, Lil Wayne. Let's see. Miss Me, Drake and Wayne. Fancy. I'm on One, DJ Khaled.
Go.
Let's see. Take Care with Rihanna.
Effing Problems.
Yep, that's another one.
Started from the bottom.
That's another one.
We're here.
No New Friends. That's
None.
another one. Hold On, We're Going Home. All
Trophies.
Me, Trophies.
Acting Crazy, Action Bronson.
Summer 16.
One Dance.
Yep.
His
Glow.
style is honestly, he has one of the most extensive styles because you can't really pinpoint it.
No, there are a couple records I didn't know he did them.
You know, the one thing that I give him peace for is when he and Drake started making records, he was one of the first that I saw that consistently filtered the hook portion. And that was one of the things I noticed with his production. He would filter the hook a lot with Drake. And now you hear that all the time.
Which is backwards to what most people would do.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's the hits are ridiculous. I mean, we can start, man, he's
I thought we already did start.
well, I'm talking I just did the singles. I mean, so far gone, he's got 7 or 8 records on there. Got some on. Well,
Are you waiting for me to read it or something?
Yeah, well, you can. Well, they love when you read it. It's better when you read it anyway.
I was just scrolling, yeah. No, I mean,
Lil Wayne, I'm Single.
Little Wayne, Trey Songz, Drake. I mean, there's so many songs here. Lloyd, did you already go through the artists?
Yeah, I stopped around like
Shade
2010 with Thank Me Later, which he got.
Who's Sadie,
man?
Who's Sadie, man?
I know you playing.
I have a whole Sade record for those, But anyways,
which is actually extremely dope. He flipped.
ASAP Rocky, Drake, Khaled, Beyonce, Young Money, Bronson, Action, Drake. Sorry,
Maja Jordan.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, nah, it's Majid.
No, because I was going to say Maja.
I know. That's why I said it like
Thank
that.
you.
And that wasn't even ironic. I thought, I'm trying to get people's names right. So.
He got all. Did he do all of Take Care? 1, 2, 3.
I believe. I mean, he's done all.
Except for maybe one or two.
No, because I
joints.
know Just Blaze did a couple.
Just got a couple. Yeah. Marvin's Room. Come on, man.
He did most of them though. Jeez.
I mean, he's Drake's bread and butter
He
for
did.
the most part.
Tiger.
That boy. All right. So let's jump in with impact on peers and upcoming producers. I think
I give him a solid.
I think he's up there in this. Him and Drake have influenced a lot of producers. I'm gonna go 9.
Okay. I'm gonna do 7.
I'm gonna give him 7.
Versatility. How versatile are the hip hop records that Noah 40 Shebib has produced?
I'll give him an 8.
Actually flipped him. The first one give him an 8. This one give him a 9.
I like 8 for this one.
Go 7 as well. I feel like they all sound the same.
No, not at all.
He got a bag long.
I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just.
Oh, no,
I
I
feel
know,
like
I
I
know.
know his sound when I hear it.
He
But
definitely
maybe-
got a sound, but he got his bag is a little deep. Different hip hop styles and artists. The producers works.
different hip hop styles of artist producer works.
That one's low for me.
It's like a 4 for me.
Yeah, that's gonna be like.
I mean, the catalog is what 90.
Catalog is solid, but he doesn't work with a whole bunch of people.
Like 85% Drake.
Yeah, it might be
So it might be
95%
90%.
Drake.
I'll do 6.
I'm gonna give him a 5.
I'll give him a 5.
Yeah, I'll stick with the 4.
Big hits and cult classics.
Man,
I have to give him a 10. I
10.
think.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in with a 10 on that one.
That's 10.
Undeniable.
10 piece.
Consistency of quality material release.
He's consistent.
Yeah,
I'll give him an 8.
I
He's
give him an
consistent.
8.
I'll give him an 8.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that.
How great is their overall body of work? Well, if Drake is 90% of your body of work, and you've been successful with however many number ones you can count,
Yeah, I mean, geez, Drake's the biggest artist in the world, essentially. I mean, one of the biggest.
yeah, that's
And the songs that he does are the songs by Drake I like.
yeah. It's not
Yeah.
like he killing them with B-sides. Like he got the big records. He has the big records.
I'll do
And
9.
9.
Yeah,
I'll give him an 8.
I'm in at 8.
That
Yeah, I'm
boy
gonna do
got
8.
some.
I'm gonna do 8 too.
I'm gonna
I
do
mean,
8 too, just because I don't want him to be that good.
At least you're honest.
He's
Hey.
honest, yeah. How often are the songs great from their beats?
Now, song being great and it being a hit is two different
Yeah,
things.
so that's where I'm going to give him
seven.
a 7. Yeah.
I'm in at 7. I'll follow y'all with that one.
Yeah, because they're not bad, but they're not anything special.
like-
Melodic.
Melodic.
Give him a
I'll give him an
6.
8 on that.
I like the melodies, man. I think
No,
His
you know,
melodies
because
is
he's got
solid.
Just Hold On, We're Going Home. I'll give
yeah,
him a
he
7.
got some heat.
Man, I
He's
gotta
got
give
Take
him an 8
Care
on
of You.
that.
Right? Yeah, let
I'm
me
with
stop
I'm
tripping.
with Terry on an 8 for that one. He got some. He's
Yeah, me
got
too.
some heat in that part in that area.
Drums.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 6.
They straight. They straight. I go 7.
Yeah.
Straight.
He's above average, so I'll give him a 6.
Yeah, I'd go 7 as well.
Yeah, they straight.
7.6
That's a good score.
for Noah. 40.
I mean, that all
Water.
tens. That all 10.
Shebib.
that all tens is
Thirsty.
I mean, that's anything above us because, you know, look, Lil Jon and Missy Elliott are 6.9, so.
true. But I mean, it's fair. How we laid it out, it's fair.
I mean, like, yeah, we.
he deserved them 10s in that category. Like
I
the
wasn't even here for Lil Jon section.
yeah, you were.
Brookins filled in.
Yeah.
And you missed Heat Makers last week. The makers of Heat.
Mhm,
The
that's what they do.
makers of heat. They still got his Instagram page. What's my boy's name? What's the main dude from with the R? What's his name?
Rahij Mahag.
Radamez.
Radamez Mahoney.
I'm not doing this with you, man.
Ryan Reynolds.
No, man. You know-
Reefer.
no, it's not anything to do with reefer.
Radio Raheem.
Arsonist. That's his name. Arsonist.
That
Arson.
doesn't start with an R.
Look how they spell it.
Arsonist.
That's how you
Oh,
spell it.
wow.
Yeah, arsonist.
That's like McCastro.
No, it's not. McKayso.
Mm.
I like Quazo.
Look at listen, Taymor over there.
Queso.
Mm.
Quazo's pretty good.
I'm telling you,
Queso.
That's what they're called.
Remember that
They got
school's wedding queso?
Oh man.
got some cheese from McDonald's.
It's some good.
No,
culinary
arsonist
shit.
still be on Instagram making heat though. Salute
Why
to
you
him.
why you spell your name like that, man?
I mean, let that man live, man.
I am. I just asked a serious question.
You know, it stands out, doesn't it? Arsonist. Lone loves all the names on that be on the.
Killison.
Killer Army.
Kill
Lone
Army.
loves all the names on the features for those Swarm albums. A lot of
I'm
RZA
sorry. What
joints.
I checked out when the Wu affiliates tried to kick in. I was
There
like,
are a lot of B. What do we call them? Lone B
Remember-
and C level.
remember what?
Yeah.
Anybody remember the Wu Gambinos?
Yeah.
We probably talked about them. I just remember seeing it was like a purple mask in the form of like a Wu-Tang. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't think Method
they're
Man
going to
knows these
sleep.
guys.
They're going to sleep with the masks on.
Some of those albums would have there'd be like 15 records. It'd probably be about 3 on there, about 3 or 4 good ones on all of those. You know, the Swarm Volume 1
collectively.
I mean, it was trying to put people on, I guess. You know,
Wu Syndicate had heat.
I mean, Killer Priest was a part of it too.
Did
Killer
Wu
Priest
Syndicate,
had-
did Wu Syndicate have heat?
Yes, they had a song called Metropolis that was called on that album.
Metropolis, Adropolis, Copolis, and Dropolis.
You just know what's gonna happen on that song.
Yeah.
It ain't what y'all think, man.
And the beat be on.
The disrespect. What is he doing?
I don't know. I
Yo,
don't.
y'all
I don't even
disrespecting
know
that.
what these.
Y'all disrespect.
Hey yo.
Hey, yo, cut it out, man.
Shout out to the
Hey, y'all ain't gonna be disrespecting
the Wu
this
Gambinos
Wu
and
production, bro.
Wu
Just
Syndicate
cut it out.
and-
man.
We're not disrespecting Wu
and,
production.
I'm just saying, man. You got it.
Killer Trife. and-
Killer Tribe.
he said, yo.
Yo,
Check this out, man.
as the leaves fall,
As the least
Disrespect.
fall, my boots are Metropolis
Disrespect.
next to the Compropolis
Disrespect.
corn stores.
Timberlands hit the
This
ground.
is so disrespectful.
Leaves fall from the ground next to the headstones of
My
fallen
machete
squirrels.
makes a sound. Swing.
Ping, ping, ping.
This dude said falls next to the headstone of
Just rolling
fallen
squirrels.
squirrels. What? This is so disrespectful, man. This is so
The parable is unbearable.
Yo, I do not condone any of this foolishness. They had some heat on them albums.
Yeah, well, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I'm not.
Put your boots on and sweater weather as the leaves begin to fall.
I'm not going back to.
Yo, The comments is about to be so lit. Yo, the disrespect, man. Seriously,
man.
man.
Ain't nobody disrespecting Real Woo.
Like that's not how the
Saying,
record
man.
sounded.
Some of the affiliates had heat. That's all.
I mean, it was
Yeah,
some heat.
but oh
That's all
man.
I'm saying.
I'm gonna get on, see if we can get some 𝗀𝐿𝐴 played at Coach
No.
the spot tonight.
I like some 𝗀𝐿𝐴. You know what?
Killer Army got Nickel play some Killer Army. He know Nickel
Killer Army actually had some joints on it. I ain't
play
gonna
that.
front.
No, and I remember I really liked that. I remember the first time I heard 𝗀𝗚 He had a joint
Yeah.
with Raekwon that I really liked.
Lone, why
was a
you
whole-
It was
laughing?
like 95 though.
It was
Why
a
is
lot of-
Lone
it
laughing
was
at
a
the
whole
name
bunch
Lot
of-
of Dark Man?
It was a bunch of
I like
bull.
Lather Dark
we had
Man.
to
No, you don't.
Yeah, dude. Law the Dark Man. He was cool.
You remember the album cover? Well, you probably can find it.
look like a Riddler mask.
Bruh.
Oh man.
Remember Method Man had a song called The Riddler?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stuff of the
there it is. It's this one, ain't it, Terry?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't think I want to hear a Method Man song called The Riddler.
It was all right.
Lone,
It was on that soundtrack.
Can you look up Lot of Dark Man?
God, why do I gotta
Hype.
type stuff? Jeez.
Heist of the
It was on
Century.
the same. It was on the same Batman soundtrack as Kiss from a Rose and
Mm-hmm.
This
R.
is
Kelly's Gotham City.
Yeah.
this is Jay Moore's screen, the screen for his phone.
For Lucy?
No,
I
it's,
got
it's,
it.
it's a Heist of the Century. Lot of Dark Man. That cover. That's Jay Moore's.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
Background
No,
screen.
that, I saw this in the record store and said absolutely not.
Yep.
Absolutely
did too.
not. And this is when I would buy anything Wu Tang.
This is like they're trying to be superhero evil people.
Bruh.
This looks like this
Bootleg
looks
Spawn.
real-
Everybody
What
had
was that? What's
y'all
that
had
new
y'all-
Disney Plus show? The Disney show, the guy with the mask that's in
Oh,
Shadow,
the one that I didn't
Moon
finish.
Knight.
Moon Knight. Yeah, this is like off of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
This is like an evil character from Moon Knight.
Yo, we all had that phase where it was like Wu-Tang. Okay, Wu-Tang dropping something. Wu-Tang is a Wu-Tang affiliate. But
No, I
eventually,
wasn't copying any of that.
I had a
I
little
did
bit.
get
I had a
Killer
phase.
Army. I got Killer Army.
Mm-hmm.
I had Killer
And
Army.
Technically, Capadonna wasn't.
Right.
He was, but he wasn't.
His first two albums was cold though.
Nah, Capadonna's first stuff was
yeah,
popping.
they was cold.
Yeah, but
and he got a couple joints
I
now.
walked right on past this.
It's just his album covers be missing.
Milk This Cow was my joint. On that's the name of the
Did it
song.
sound like? Hey, yo, I got a cow in my backyard
Mad disrespectful,
Hey,
man.
man.
hanging from a tree.
Man,
Milk
go
This
back and
Cow was-
listen to some of that, man.
Milk This Cow was cold.
You gonna be
The
upset.
best way we know how.
It's just a hilarious name. I think it's more than anything.
Oh, it definitely is.
And the visual in my head for Milk This Cow and Capadonna is
What
hilarious.
was the first
Yeah.
album called?
Especially
The
knowing
Pillage.
his album covers.
The Pillage. He was making good
Yeah, no,
album covers
Pillage
back
was
then.
tight.
Yeah.
I feel
He
like
had another one called The Yin and the Yang, I think, after that.
I met,
Jay Moore
I
had
met
that
Capadonna once. He was super nice.
Yeah, I met him.
Mm-hmm. No, I met him. He thought he knew me. It was weird.
He said coaches.
Yeah, he
back
was
in the
like,
day.
"You don't remember me, man?" I was like,
I'd have been like, yeah, man, I remember we was at.
No, and the thing is, like, I met a lot of artists. I know for a fact that was the first time I met Capadonna.
He was sipping wine and coaching.
He was. Yeah. That
Yeah,
must-
I was, I was like, cool, man. We got somebody.
Like,
Came
M80
from-
M80 brought him
Yep.
to it.
Shouts
Because
to
you know,
M80.
Shout out to M80 for
because
bringing
surprisingly,
Cap through.
we've had not that many artists come through.
But y'all saw, didn't y'all say
I saw
Dale
Crit
Davis
there.
and Rasheed was there? They used
Well,
to
they
kick
was
it.
Yeah,
there
we've had
often.
we've had more basketball players
Than
come through
artists,
than
yeah.
artists. Yeah.
I
You
went
gotta
home.
But shout out to
It's
Big
on
Crit. Shout out to
Tuesday.
Big Crit for coming through.
Yeah, I
Yes.
went home.
I got a
Lone-
picture with him.
Lone sent
I
me a
know.
picture
I had
with
left too damn early.
him. Yep.
I got a picture intentionally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's literally the only reason I got a
Yeah,
made
picture.
just to
me
show
mad.
you. Yeah.
His show that night was lit though. At
No, it was.
I remember
What's called?
tagging Rhapsody trying to get it to come through. So
Hey man, I actually
I could
had
buy
a
her cone
conversation with Rhapsody though.
that's right.
First time she was in town at
The vote.
the Vogue.
she's a vote, yeah.
Yeah, she was real cool.
She's a good performer, man. That show.
Matter of
with
fact,
her
it
and
was
Crit
her.
dope.
We was talking to her and Crisis.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember.
They seem like they would be cool. I'm
Yeah,
glad you
I
said
had-
I don't think I was
actually-
there.
I might have been by myself. I don't know. I remember I bought like 3 Rhapsody mixtapes directly from her,
Mm.
and if I was thinking, I would have had her sign them all.
She put
Right,
on a
right.
good show that night with Crit. They both took care of business. And T.I.'s son was there.
That's right. Not the one.
Damani.
Yeah,
Not the one that's out here acting the fool.
Was he
That
taking
boy
pictures?
Yes.
Yeah, Damani was actually out in the crowd with everybody.
And he had a merch table over in the corner. He was interacting with the people. It was dope.
Yeah, not the trouble son.
Yeah, the other son out there with
Can't get
Boosie's
right.
son.
How you had a good upbringing and you want to be out acting stupid, want to thug it out. You ain't got your daddy that made it, so you ain't got to be a thug.
And y'all choose to go right into that lane.
Man,
and it's
that's-
not believable, bro. We know how you grew up, fam.
That's just dumb. T.I. even said, "Hey, he you gonna have to live with that."
I mean, choices, young man.
Hey,
Ain't that what
man.
get you?
Well, you know,
Choice
if he gets
yours.
arrested one more time, maybe one of the Bailey sisters will date him.
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't be
I
out here
hope not.
judging how people look, but that's a funny looking character, man.
He's,
You got him.
That's the throwing stars hitting the walls.
I blame you for this, J Boy. I think that's a good place for us.
It's about that time, fellas. About that time.
Yeah.
Y'all make sure y'all go to newoldass.com for all the education you need this year. As always, see it, like it, subscribe. And we appreciate the support. Shout out to the chat. We'll see y'all next week.
Got that narcotic.
Unless you need it.
Come on, Ann. I didn't let that narcotic alone.
He said, and.